What's up, guys? In today's video, we are going to go over pricing and pricing structure for boats that are under 35 feet. So this is going to be bay boats, wakeboard boats, pontoon boats if you want to do those, and center consoles, that kind of thing. Stick around. This is going to be for smaller boats. If you have a larger boat or you need pricing for larger boats, I will be making a video on that very shortly as well. For this video and this video's sake, we're going to go over pricing structure for oxidized boats and waxing jobs on bay boats and center consoles. All right, guys, before we hop into the video, I want to offer you guys a special offer. It's for $99. I want to have a conversation with you to answer your personal questions for your business, pricing structures, issues you may be having. If you're just starting out and you don't know where to start, for your personal state issues, whatever, I want to talk to you. Go in the contact form down below, hit the little contact me button, and we can have 1 hour phone conversation for $99. And I'm offering this too. If I do not answer all of your questions to your satisfaction, I will 100% give you all of your money back. No questions asked. $100, you can't beat it, guys. I'm only doing this a limited time and my schedule is filling up. I've been offering this for a few weeks now and I'm actually having to take days off from detailing just to be able to have conversations with you guys. I've had a ton of great feedback from it. So thank you so much, guys, for taking advantage of that, and I'm hoping that I'm helping you guys and growing your company with you. Also, detailed image, I have a wholesale link down below. If you go and you click that link and you fill out the form and you get approved, we will both get a free $20 credit. You'll have a wholesale account. You can usually save up to about 30% on all of your detailing products that are on that website. That's actually the website that I get all my machines that I buy, everything that I buy for machines and pads, I buy on Detailed Image. So go down below, get a wholesale account where you get to save money, and we'll both get a free $20 credit. Guys, big shout out to all of my international people. Y'all have blown me away. Honestly, I've had people from Japan, Australia, Pakistan, the UK, all of you guys are blowing me away. What I want you guys to do, because I just love like knowing who's watching these videos. If you would, in the comments down below, please just write where you are watching this from. I just want to know where everyone's at. So guys, please do me a favor. In the comments down below, real quick, just comment listening from Germany, listening from Japan, listening from New York, wherever you're at. Please comment down below. I want to know where you guys are from. That would help me out a lot. All right, guys, with all that said, let's hop into this video for pricing and pricing structure on smaller boats. All right, guys, so everything in this video that I'm gonna list is where you should be starting out day one. Okay, I'm gonna assume that if you're watching this video, you don't have a ton of experience with boat detailing and pricing. So I'm just gonna assume that you're new to boat detailing. You may have a car detailing company and maybe somebody called you and said, hey, can you do my boat? And you don't know how to price them. Or you might be trying to start a boat detailing company and you just don't know really where to start as far as pricing. So that's what we're going to go over today. Maybe a little bit later in the video, I will go over kind of where you could be or should be or your goal. But for this video, all the pricing that you're going to hear is basically where you should be starting out day one. Guys, like always, if you get any value out of this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification. So every time I make a video, it'll pop up. Listen to this while you're working. Listen to this on the drive to work. Put the phone down and just listen to the whole thing. You're gonna get a ton of value out of this. All right, guys, with all that said, let's hop right into this again. So guys, we are gonna go over pricing and pricing structure. All right, now first things first nugget you can take home when it comes to pricing boats, we base everything off by the foot. Okay, now what does that mean? It's pretty simple. So if it's a 25-foot boat, we're gonna base it off of 25 feet. Okay, it's not good enough just to say, hey, we're gonna base it off of by the foot, because then you might be saying, well, how much do we charge by the foot? And that's where the pricing structure comes into play. All right, for years, guys, I just kind of, I just like wung every job and I was like, hey, it's going to be this much, it's going to be this much. And I never actually broke it down into a kind of a format where I could follow for job after job after job. And guys, let's face it, every boat is different. Things happen. Some boats need more work than others. Parts of the boat needs more work than the others. You may have decals you got to take off. So there's always different scenarios when it comes to pricing, but that doesn't mean that you always have to be up in the air on what to charge and how to charge properly. In this video, I'm going to help you guys learning the pricing structure for your detailing business when it comes to boats. First things first, okay? I'm not a company that does a lot of washes and, boat washes, just maintenance washes or if a customer calls me and is like, hey, my boat just needs a wash, I typically refer them to another company because I just don't do that. All right. My main clientele is going to be detailing and waxing. Okay. And that's most people's main clientele is going to be like detailing, waxing, and then oxidation removal, wet sanding, that kind of thing. All right. So this video is going to be kind of based on that. When it comes to a boat detail, 9 out of 10 customers call you and say, hey, I need my boat detailed and I want it waxed. All right. And that's proper. I mean, they need to keep your boat waxed. And I typically recommend customers do a wax every 4 to 6 months. 6 months at the very most. 4 months is optimal, okay? Now, most people only have their boats waxed once a year, so typically boats are oxidized because people don't know how to take care of them properly, and that's part of this channel, is to help people understand, 1, how to take care of their boat, and 2, for detailers to learn how to properly detail boats. So when it comes to the pricing structure of a job, I break it down into sections, okay? I'm going to see if I can figure out the whole downloadable PDF thing. I made a PDF that you can find hopefully down below. If it's not, I super apologize. I'll make a note, say, hey, couldn't figure it out. But you can just screenshot this right here. All right, screenshot this, and this is going to be our pricing structure as far as starting off with center consoles, bay boats, and dual consoles, okay? And what I mean by bay boats is going to be like your smaller bay fishing boats that we have here in the South. Your dual consoles are going to be kind of bow riders. It's going to be wakeboard boats, that kind of thing, and then center console, all right? So starting out, we are going to start out at a base price of $15 a foot. Okay, now $15 a foot is going to include the listed above, you know, that you can see right here. It's going to be a wash, so we're going to wash the boat inside out. We're going to clean the non-skid or C-deck. If they have C-deck on like wakeboard boats that have C-deck, we're going to clean the C-deck. Vinyl seat cleaning, okay? This is going to be cleaning your seats, getting your seats, and then topping them with some like vinyl protectant like 303, you know, any vinyl protectant that you may like. We're going to clean the compartments, shop back out the compartments, wipe them out, that kind of thing. Mold and mildew removal if needed. This is just going to be if there's mold and mildew on the seats, we'll use a little diluted bleach and then re-clean it with some degreaser after. Bright work waxing by hand. Okay, I say by hand because this is key, because some people will say like, oh, are you going to polish out my metal to a mirror finish for $15 a foot? No, I will not. This is going to be applying woody wax. Okay, you've seen it in my other videos. It's going to be applying woody wax on, you know, your rod holders and stainless steel T-tops and just all your bright work, all your chrome, all your metal, all your bright work is going to get hand applied of the woody wax for $15 a foot. We're also going to do the hull cleaning. All this is removing that orange scum line on the bottom. You're going to remove that, okay, with some Rust Aid. You can find it down below. We're going to do engine cleaning, okay? So this is on your wakeboard boats. I don't get too crazy. Like, I know some detailers will get way in there. Now, if they're listing the boat to sell, you know, maybe you charge a little extra for this, but this is just going to be like cleaning the top, getting oil, grease, you know, wiping it out just kind of pretty quickly. It's not like a, you know, you're not spending 2 hours in there. It's literally taking me 15 minutes, okay? That's about how long I'll take on wakeboard boats, getting them cleaned. And then on like center consoles and stuff, this is going to be just cleaning the cowlings. I'm not taking the cowlings off and cleaning the motor. It's just cleaning the outside of the cowlings, the lower unit, and then we're going to wax those, okay? Now, when it comes to waxing the boat, for $15 a foot, as I wash in our wax package, it's going to be waxing from the rub rail, so you got your rubber rub rail, all the way down to where it tapers off and goes under. So I call that the rub rail down. It's rub rail down to the water line, and then all of your interior panels. So on your center console, it's going to be all your interior walls. On your you know, your wakeboard style boats, it's going to be all your interior panels. And that's it, guys. I mean, it's simple. It is a detail wash and our wax, okay? Now, the way I market this is I have on my website, you can go on my website if you'd like, you can click it down below. I have basically 2 packages. I have a wash and a wax package, and I have an oxidation removal package. Most customers say, hey, my boat just needs a wax, okay? And we've all heard it, all right? Sorry, drinking my bubbly. We have all heard the customer say, hey, I just want to get my boat, it just needs a good wax, all right? 9 out of 10 boats do not just need a good wax. They need oxidation removal, okay? And if a customer ever tells you that their boat needs a good wax, that means it's severely oxidized, all right? I'm joking, but most people are going to downplay the condition of their boat only because they're not trying to rip you off. It's just simply they just don't really know, how bad things are. And that's okay. So when it comes to a pricing structure, we're going to break it down into by the foot sections per step. All right. Now, you may say, what the heck does that mean? All right. At the base of any detail, you are going to clean the seats, you're going to clean the compartments, you're going to clean the metal, you're going to wax the boat, okay, at the base of it all. So even if you did a 10, 15, 20 step correction restoration, eventually you are going to wax the boat, you're going to clean the seats, you're going to clean the compartments, you're going to do all that. So that is going to be our foundational price at $15 a foot. All right. Now, once you start getting better and your work is amazing, you are going to charge, and I'm going to go over that a little bit later in the video, but you're going to up your prices naturally. But this is a good starting point at $15 a foot. So if you are day one and customer calls you, you went and look at it and the boat's really not bad. I mean, it's dirty, you need to clean it, and it just needs a good wax. Start at $15 a foot. Now, you may have to adjust. That might be high for your market, which it shouldn't be. And it may be extremely, extremely low for your market, which if it is, then bump your prices up. But on average, $15 a foot is a really, really good starting point. All right. Now, what do I mean by $15 a foot? If you don't know what that means if a boat, let's just assume it's a 25-foot center console boat. All right. And we're going to charge $15 a foot for our wash and our wax package. Basically, all that means, get your little handy dandy calculator out. We're going to do $15 because that's how much we're charging per foot. And it's a 25-foot boat. So we're going to times $15 times $25 or 25 feet. And that's going to give us a total price of $375. So for $375, you're going to come out, you're going to clean the boat, wash it, remove the orange stain off the bottom, wax the metal by hand. You're going to clean the seat cushions, clean the compartments, and you're going to wax the boat inside out. Now, guys, that's pretty cheap in my opinion. That is very cheap. I would not charge that. I'm actually going to charge almost double that. But first starting out, day one, that is a very, very good pricing structure. Okay, now you may be like, okay, that's great, wash and a wax, but what if the boat needs to be wet sanded? What if it needs to be compounded? Like now, like how do I charge for that? Well, good. I'm glad you asked. All right. So also in this PDF, if I can figure it out, if not, you can screenshot it right here. Okay, now this pricing list is a base price. Okay, like I said, this is pretty low pricing, and eventually you're going to want to charge more. But as you can see here, we have center consoles, we have bay boats, we have dual consoles, and I've already kind of explained what all of that means. And I have it broke down into oxidation removal. Basically I have a rub rail down only, I have a top side only, and then I have the entire boat. So that's and the reason why I did that is because some boats, you only need to do the hull, or the customer may only want you to do the hull, the rub rail down I'm talking about. Or maybe the rub rail down is fine because they can actually wax that, and then the inside they wash with bleach every day, so the inside's oxidized and you have to do that. Or 9 out of 10 boats, you need to do the whole thing. So I kind of broke it down into that kind of category, and this is all a base, guys. You don't have to follow these 100%. You can adjust your prices, but this is just to help you guys from day one. So what does this mean? Okay, so it says $5 a foot per step for the rub rail down, and if you notice, they're all the same. Okay, so now there is some, like, you may want to adjust for like wakeboard boats compared to center consoles, because center consoles on average have more gel coat surface area than wakeboard boats. Okay, if you spend a lot of time at wakeboard boats, there's very little gel coat on the inside of wakeboard boats. It's mainly seat cushions and that kind of thing, whereas on center consoles they actually have way more gel coat, and there's only like 3 seat cushions. So when it comes to my wash and my wax package, kind of backtracking a little bit, I keep it the same only because, yes, you have to do more waxing on a center console, but you don't have to do as much seat cleaning and compartment cleaning. Whereas on a wakeboard boat, there's way more compartments and way more seat cushions that take more time, but there's very little waxing, so it kind of compensates for itself. If you don't want to charge the same, then don't. I don't care. But that's basically what I do. It just keeps it all simple, so I don't charge one thing for one boat and another thing for another boat and another thing for another boat. I like to just keep it simple across the board. And, and I will adjust my price accordingly. Like, if it's crazy, a little more, a little less or something, I will adjust it by $100 or so, and just kind of work with the customer if I have to. But on average, across the board, I just keep my prices the same. So on a center console boat, you're going to have more gel coat than a dual console, so you may want to adjust your prices accordingly. But guys, like I said, use this as a reference guide, not necessarily a concrete pricing guide. So basically, if a boat has extreme oxidation on it, okay, let's just assume that it needs to be one step wet sanded, like you touched it and it's got like a white powder on your hand, or it's like crazy dull, all right? And we're gonna assume that it needs to be one step wet sanded, and we're gonna do like a heavy cut compound, a medium cut compound, and then we're gonna follow that up with another medium cut compound and a polish, okay? That's kind of normal on my pricing structures. Because I'm perfecting boats, guys. I'm not just out there acid washing them, hitting them with some colonite and calling it a day. And if you want to do that, great, go for it. But I advise you not to. And I actually can't help you when it comes to pricing if you're wanting to do that, because that's just not what I do. I fix boats. I do things right. I take the extra steps. I go the extra mile. Some people say I take way too many steps. Well, guess what? I don't care, because my work is dang near perfect every time. And if you build your reputation on your work being perfect and not 3 months later all their oxidation's coming back, you are going to have sustainable income for years and years and years at a time. And you can start naming your price after a while. So anyway, that's my little rant. All right, so we're gonna assume that it's a 5-step polishing, and then we're gonna have a separate step of our waxing packages, okay? So we got our wet sand, we got our super heavy cut, we got our somewhat heavy cut, and we have our medium cut, and then we have our polish, okay? So we're going super refined. If you want more of a reference to this, this is going to be my boat detailing restoration video. I'll link that video at the very end on the button. You can press and watch that one. But basically, this is the pricing structure that I did. So it's 6 steps total if you include the wash and wax package. But we have 5 cutting steps, and then we have our wash and our wax package, all right? So let's just assume we're doing the whole boat, and we're going to base it off of this 25-foot center console we've been talking about, all right? So as you can see on this PDF, I have $15 a foot per step. Okay, so you have your wash and our wax package is $15 a foot, and then every cutting step additional is an additional $15 a foot. Now this is inside and out, okay? This is not just the inside, it's not just the outside, this is inside and out, okay? So I've had people ask me, well, like, why is it the same price, if not sometimes more, for just polishing? Aren't you just cutting versus cleaning the seats, compartments, and all this stuff? Yes, but really what it comes down to is time, okay? So by the time you can do a full wash and a wax package, it'll take you about that to polish out the entire boat, okay? Because polishing out the boat takes a lot of time. To go side to side, up, down, side to side, wipe your section, move on, making sure things are perfect. It's gonna take a lot of time. And doing these steps take a lot of time. And that's why it's roughly about the same price per foot, or per step, as it is the wash and the wax package, okay? So for time's sake, let's go over this. So we're gonna assume that you've looked at your boat and you're like, wow, this thing needs to be sanded, it needs to be heavy cut, all this stuff. So that's a total of 5 extra steps on top of our wash and our wax. So we're gonna do $15 a foot because we're doing the inside and out. We're gonna times that by 5, and that gives us $75 a foot. And then we're gonna plus $15 extra for our wash and our wax. So it's a total of 6 steps at $15 a foot. That brings us to $90 a foot. Now we're gonna times that by $25, or 25 feet, and that's gonna come out to $22,250, okay? So, very simple, guys, okay? You break everything down by the foot, all right? Every single step you take is by the foot. So, if you want to charge $15 a foot, great. If you want to charge $10 a foot, great. If you want to charge $40 a foot, great. I don't care. But basically, we're going to base everything off by the foot. So let's also assume that you go look at a different boat. Let's just say it's another a wakeboard boat, and you look at it and it's like, man, this thing actually just needs a 1-step polish and a wax, and that's it. Like, it honestly could be just waxed, but the customer wants it to look as best as can. So I'm gonna put a I'm gonna do like Manzurna 2500, and we're gonna make this thing look great. We're gonna polish it. It might have some swirl marks in it. We're gonna polish it up, and then we're gonna wax it. So what is that gonna cost us? Okay, so if we go back to our little list, we're gonna say, hey, it only needs one extra step of polishing, and then we're gonna do our wash and our wax package. So our wash and our wax package is $15 a foot, and our extra polishing step, because it's just one extra step, is another $15 a foot. So that would be $30 a foot, because it's 2 steps at $15 a foot. And let's just assume it's a 23-foot, nautique or something, a wakeboard boat. Now we're at $30 a foot times 23 feet. And that gives us a total price of $690. So, guys, as you can see, super simple, all right? Now, come up with your own pricing. Come up with whatever you want to charge, okay? Whatever is suitable for your market. Like I said, my pricing is almost double these, all right? So if you've been doing this for 15 years and you're wanting to, learn how to charge a little more, a little better, don't go off of these pricings, because these pricing is pretty cheap. You'll probably book every freaking job off of these pricings because it's pretty cheap. So what do I recommend as a long-term pricing structure? Okay, if you want my opinion, long-term, every year or so, you should probably go up about $5 a foot per section, per thing, until you've capped out around $30 a foot for your wash and your wax packages, all right? That's typically about what I charge on average for my wash and my wax detail, is about $30 a foot, and then I typically charge about $25 a foot per step for all of my cutting steps. Base your price off of your market, okay? So if these prices are extremely low, then up your prices. If you're living in other countries and the currency is a little different, base them off, and that's another thing too. I know a lot of you guys are international, so base these prices off of your currency and what your market calls for, okay? So guys, at the end of the day, pricing is super simple. Base everything off by the foot per step, by the foot per step. I encourage you guys to come up with your own. You can copy mine. I don't care. I'm not going to come sue you for copyrights, but you can copy my wash and my wax package, or whatever base package you want to come with. Your base detail package, and then base everything off from that. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of long, but I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell notification, so every time I make a video, it'll pop up. I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video. Let's go.